Hello all and welcome to Duplicate Success International Monday Night Webinar. Today is Monday, June 12th. My name is Randy Krebs, Executive Gold Director from Salt Lake City, Utah. I have the distinct honor of introducing the host of tonight's webinar. He is a very well-respected business leader and mentor in this industry. You'll definitely want to have your pen and paper out, sitting up, paying attention, and taking notes as you learn how this industry expert continues to build his business successfully. He has achieved the rank of Emerald Director within our company. He is the co-founder of Duplicate Success International. He is an amazing leader, mentor, and most importantly, I'm very proud to call him my son. Jared, are you on the line?
I am, Dad. Thank you so much for the great introduction. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to tonight's webinar. We have a really great training prepared for you tonight. And before we get into everything, I just want to remind you of the Team DMO. This is the daily method of operation. Just like every business has a DMO, we have a DMO in USANA and with Team DSI. And if you do these three things, you will be successful, guaranteed. It's just about doing them every single day. Number one is use the products, be a product of the products, AM and PM. Number two is do your 2-2-2 for the day. That's getting 2 new presentation videos sent out, 2 follow-ups with prospects on the fence, and 2 calls to existing clients or team members. And this really is the engine to your business. Every time I do my 2-2-2 consistently, my business grows. And I really want to encourage you to take massive imperfect action. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be massive. You will learn as you go. Make sure you focus on getting your 2-2-2 done every single day. Number 3 is listen to 15 minutes or more of personal development material. That's reading books, listening to audios, or being on webinars like this one. So kudos to you for being on the webinar. I'm super proud of you for all the things that you're doing with your business. And just remember, there's 3 keys to a breakthrough. Number 1, you have to have a good strategy, which is the DMO. Number 2, the stories you tell yourself. Make sure you're telling yourself positive stories. A lot of times people say, oh, I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I don't know technology, or I don't have enough time, I have a full-time job, or I have kids, or all kinds of excuses and stories people tell themselves. But when you start telling yourself, I can do this, I believe I can do this, I am a solid executive gold director and beyond, I am a solid diamond director, and I tell these stories to myself every single day when I brush my teeth in the morning. You've got to tell yourself positive stories and constantly put positivity in your brain. So that's number 2. And number 1 is the most important. That's the state that you're in, and that is your energy and your state of mind. So again, that comes down to how you feel. If you feel good and high energy, then every time you make phone calls and you talk about USANA and you talk about the team and the vision, you're going to attract people. So make sure you're feeling good. Make sure you take care of yourself. If you don't feel good, make sure you take a nap and have some food and get yourself in a good state of mind before you build your business. You have to make sure you take care of your state to have a breakthrough. So let's go ahead and recognize some people who are having breakthroughs and people who are following the DMO. How can we tell? Because they're signing people up. So big congratulations to our new clients that just got started. Welcome Kathy James, new client introduced by Heather Page. Way to go, Heather. And welcome to the team, by the way. It's exciting to see everything you're doing. Beautiful dog. Welcome Tia Carey and Tio Benny Carrasco, new clients introduced by Renee and Megan Martinez. Renee, you continue to inspire me despite all the odds, despite all the busy schedule and everything you have going on. You still bring in new people every week. Super proud of you, bro. Thanks for being a great example. Welcome Azelia Roman, new client introduced by Lorena Galdiano. Welcome Azelia, and great job, Lorena. Super proud of you as well, overcoming obstacle after obstacle and helping more people get started. Welcome Adrian Brown, new client introduced by myself and my wife Crystal. Welcome Adrian, excited to be working with you. All right, let's welcome our new associates that have gotten started with Team DSI in the last week or two. First of all, welcome Ryan Lind Kraskoff, new associate introduced by Renee and Megan Martinez. Again, Renee, wow, super proud of you, man. And welcome Ryan. Also welcome Heather Page, new associate introduced by Randy and Viola Krebs. Heather, I think we had you on last week. It was great hearing your voice, and big congratulations on starting your business. Welcome Robert Knopp, new associate introduced by Randy and Viola Krebs. Super congratulations, Robert. It's been awesome working with you. I believe Robert's on the line. Robert, can you unmute Robert, Dad?
You there?
Yes, sir. Robert, tell us, how was your first week and why are you excited about USANA this week?
Oh man, I'm just really enjoying the products and stuff, getting the word out there, just finding out, man, that people really get excited about their health and talking about their health. And I really get excited about helping people. That's just something I've always enjoyed doing. And this is a fantastic way to get out there and help people and change people's lives.
Well, big congratulations on signing up 3 people and becoming the number 8 top client enroller in the United States market. Super proud of you, man.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Robert. Welcome, Adriana Perez, new associate introduced by Lorena Galdiano. And Adriana, I'm going to bring you on also when we recognize our top client enrollers. But super excited to be working with you. I know we haven't gotten to start quite yet, but I know we will soon, and it's going to be awesome. All right, let's recognize some big rank advancements. Let's start by recognizing new builder Lillian Galdiano. For those of you who don't know what a builder associate is, builder status, that's when you made your first $200 check in 1 week. An associate that does that every week is making over $800 per month. That's like having a rental property that just pays you and it's completely paid off. So Lillian is literally creating an asset with her USANA business that's equal to having a home paid off and just receiving residual checks. It's a big, big deal. Lillian, I want to bring you on the line. Dad, could you please unmute Lillian? Are you there, Lillian? Oh, there you are. You're unmuted. Lillian.
Hello.
Yes, we hear you.
Awesome.
First of all, big congratulations on your promotion. I know you've been wanting this for quite some time. Can you share with the team a little bit about your work ethic? Because I see you every day get off work. You work a long day in corporate America, but you just somehow always get on those phones from like 6 to 8 p.m. You're making calls, you're networking, you're working from home, and you just keep bringing new people, new clients all the time. Share us a little bit about your work ethic and also your vision, your reason why you're building your business.
Wow. Well, I just want to tell as many people and help as many people about their health, help them with their health, and just tell them about USANA. And I get excited every time I share with new people, with new family and new friends, because I want them to feel better, to want to get their health back on track. And it just excites me. And I just enjoy catching up with old friends and family that I haven't been able to, or that I haven't contacted just because time flies and everybody works all day. And it's just, it's hard. It's been a challenge, but I'm enjoying it. And I'm just making it a point to be consistent, to do it, be consistent, and just enjoy doing it. And with a smile on my face and just helping people with their health. And I just enjoy it. It doesn't even feel like a job because I'm having fun doing it. And, that's what's great about it.
That's such a great attitude. I love what you said about just like you enjoy catching up with the people in your life you haven't talked to in forever, and kind of having that attitude about it instead of, oh, I got to make calls. You're actually, I get to talk to people I haven't talked to who I love, and I get to catch up with them, and I get to build my business.
Yes, and right before the call, I just enrolled a new client who's a cousin of mine who I haven't talked to in forever. She's purchasing for her son, and I'm super excited for him because he's an athlete that just got a scholarship for soccer, so he's super excited to start taking him to help him with his endurance and all that.
Wow. Congratulations, Lillian. That's exciting.
Yes, thank you.
Can you share with us a little about what would you say to somebody that you call that you haven't talked to in forever? Let's say you call someone and you want to bring up USANA after, maybe visiting with them first. How do you actually bring it up?
I just basically let them know that I started a home-based business and I'm really excited about it. And I share with them my 30-second story, and I ask them about what they want to improve in their health. And I share stories from other team members or from other just testimonies that I've heard with all the events that I've been to. I just share what relates to them. I ask them questions, and whatever answers they give me, I share stories. And that's how I've been introducing them to USANA, just by stories. And
Wow. So you call them and you visit with them and you say, hey, I just started with a home-based business. What are 3 areas of your health you want to improve?
yeah, and
I'll open it.
some of them watch the video, some of them don't. And so when they don't, it's like I don't have time to, I'm working all day, so I want to make it go fast. So, and I just sometimes bypass the video. But the video works. It just, for me, that's my preference. But it's good when people have time to listen to it, because when I show them the video, they don't respond as well for some reason. I don't know.
No, that's great though. I mean, it's great that you're taking action. There's more than one way to skin the cat. The main thing is you're taking massive action, and they say take massive imperfect action. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't seem like you're worried about being perfect. You're just calling people and kind of learning as you go and developing your routine as you go, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, and I'm having fun doing it.
Absolutely. And share with us your why. What drives you to do this every night? You love it, you're enjoying it, but what else drives you?
My why is to get out of corporate America and just to be able to have more time and freedom with my friends and family, to be able to do things that I can't do now and spend more time with them. My friends and family, my family is important, and they're my why.
That's awesome. Well, Lillian, you're definitely doing it. You're going to hear from Pamela Pearson tonight, who's done exactly what you want to do. And I'm super excited as we grow together. Thanks for being such a great friend, such a great team member. And it's just, thanks for inspiring the team. You're awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Also, some special recognition. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for making this slide. We were number 19 top earning Emeralds. And thank you, Team DSI, for all your commitment and all your hard work. We really appreciate and love you. Also, big congratulations to Robert Knopp, number 8 top client enroller in the United States market last week, or actually that was week ending June 2nd. Big congratulations, Robert. We're super proud of you. It was awesome hearing your voice on the webinar. I cannot wait to keep building with you. You're a very smart, intuitive businessman. I've really enjoyed the time we spent together, and let's keep going. Also, Robert was number 25 top client enroller in North America. So you were number 8 in the United States, but number 25 in United States, Mexico, and Canada. So that's big time, bro. Big time to be on that list. Also, big congratulations to number 14 top client enroller, Adriana Perez, who is pictured here. We're actually going to bring her off of mute. Dad, could you please unmute Adriana? And Adriana, I know we've not been able to work together. I know you're definitely getting better and better from the flu. But what's it been like this week, listening to all of your material that you got in the mail from USANA, from the DVDs to just the webinars? What's it been like for you this week from all the things you've been listening to and studying?
Hi everyone, first of all.
Yes, hello.
And yes, I'm finally getting a little bit better. Hopefully we can start soon working on what we were supposed to do last week, but now we have to play catch up. But it's been inspiring listening to all these stories, testimonies, just like Lillian said, and all this material. And now I've started trying out the product as well, so working on that and looking forward to see what that brings. It's gonna be
Absolutely.
a lot of. Mm-hmm.
How have you felt on the products in the first 4 days it's only been like 2 days. Have you felt a difference yet?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Well,
it takes
it's been 2 days, and yeah, I think I'm gonna probably see a little bit more of a difference after like the first week. I would
Yeah.
think. Then, I'll be able to notice a little bit more. But right now, so far, they're doing great.
Awesome. And what's been the highlight in all of your studies so far? Like, what's been the most inspiring story, or the top thing that's really like kind of gotten your attention?
Well, there's a lot to it, but all these stories of the reasons, just like you were saying, the whys, why
Hmm.
are they here to help people? I mean, just being able to help others. I think that's a great thing already. And if you can have fun and get money like a second job at the same time, well, even better. So,
Absolutely.
mhm.
That's exactly what Lillian's doing. That's exactly what you're going to start doing. And Pamela Pearson, the person speaking tonight, you're going to hear from someone who's done it to the level of replacing a corporate income. So you are in for a big treat tonight.
Nice. Looking forward to
Awesome.
it.
Well, thank you, Adriana. Thank you for being such a responsive person. I really appreciate how you always respond to texts and phone calls. You're so responsible. You have such a great business mentality, and you're just a very cool person. I am really glad we're friends, and can't wait to start working together.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
All
you for
right.
everything.
You're welcome. All right. Big congratulations to number 14 top client enroller, United States market, Carlos Gomez. My man, Carlos, proud of you, bro. You keep going. You keep taking action. You keep bringing in new people. I'm super proud of you, Carlos. Keep up the great work. Also, number 26 top associate enrollers in the United States market, Randy and Viola Krebs, executive gold directors. Mom and Dad, thank you so much for all your hard work. Thank you so much for leading by example. Big congratulations to you for enrolling 3 new associates in the last 3 weeks. That is so big time. Very few associates in the entire United States market are doing what you're doing and doing it at the level that you're doing it at. So thank you so much for inspiring the team. Thank you for being great parents. I love you, and really excited and happy for your success. And me and my wife were also number 26 top client or associate enrollers last week. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for making this slide. Special announcements. Lillian Galdiano, you made the growth bonus. Since you advanced to builder, you're going to be getting a 25% bonus on everything you make through August 11th. It's time to accelerate, celebrate, and accelerate. So super proud of you, Lillian. Very, very exciting. People are already chatting here. Oh, yeah. Woohoo. Definitely. Also, Daniel Espinoza, big congratulations for you as well, sir. Congratulations on your rank advancement 2 weeks ago. If you can unmute Daniel, that'd be awesome, Dad. Daniel Espinoza, are you able to unmute yourself? There we go. Daniel.
How's it going?
Big congratulations on qualifying for the growth bonus.
Thank you.
There's a bit of an echo when I talk, so could you just tell the team what is working for you, and what's your big motivation for building USANA?
My biggest motivation is watching the changes in the people that I help. And I keep learning more and more about the products. I keep studying. I listened to Dr. Ladd's Power Cellular Nutrition last night while I was cleaning the house, and just learning about the vitamins, learning the difference, and to be able to help people. And that's what's inspired me the most.
That's awesome.
And that's my biggest push right now.
Well, super proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats on all the money you've made. Congrats on finalizing as premier pay setter. And we got till August 11th, man. Let's raise the CVP, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for it.
Awesome, bro. All right, keep up the great work. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The growth bonus is going on. You guys can win it. All you have to do is have a rank advancement to builder or above between May 13th and August 11th. So if you're currently above builder, you have to go up at least one level, and that's all the way up through gold, through silver to gold director. But once you rank advance, then you just have to basically make as much money as you can over this period of May 13th through August 11th, and you will get a 25% bonus, and they backdate it as well. So if you qualify on the last week, like August 11th, you'll still get all the checks back to May 13th. So it's definitely worth it. Keep making it a goal to rank advance, get yourself to builder. I'm talking to you, all of you new associates. You have to make a $200 check in 1 week. Make it a goal to make a $200 check in 1 week on or before August 11th, and you will get the growth bonus. Also, the USANA is giving out a free HEPA-SIL to any associate, brand new associate, preferred customer, or retail customer who order a health pack. And that starts this Saturday, June 17th through July 14th. So for a month, for 4 weeks, you're going to be able to tell everybody who orders a health pack, hey, you're going to get a free bottle of HEPA-SIL. And Dr. Oz is going to be speaking on HEPA-SIL on June 29th, which is a Thursday. Make sure you go to droz.com, listed here in the top left, for the details on when it's going to play in your hometown. But Dr. Oz is on board with HEPA-SIL as well. It's going to be exciting to have him talk about it that day. Convention tickets are $279 a ticket, $229 for new associates who register for convention within their first 6 weeks. But I see people selling them on Facebook for as low as $180. So make sure if you don't have your convention ticket that you get it, because it's really important. Obviously, it's the most important event of the year. Our track WAPnWin contest right now, we have Daniel Espinoza first place, Lillian Galdiano second place, Denise Garcia third place, and everyone's real close behind them. We have 5 weeks left on this incentive. This is for basically people who are going to convention. First place gets $400 cash. That'll pay for your entire hotel expense. Well, actually, second place could even pay for your entire hotel expense, depending on where you stay and if you have roommates. But that's the whole idea. Third place, $150 cash. Whatever place you take, you're going to get cash, and it's going to help towards your convention expenses. So we're super excited for the people who are in the running. Keep it up. So if you want to play in this, contact the person who invited you, and they can get you information. Make sure you add people to the USANA clients page, add people to the Team DSI page. Thank you for all your great comments. You guys do great at commenting and welcoming people. And with that said, we made it through to our training. So this is going to be about a 20-25 minute story, and get ready because you're about to hear from one of the very best in USANA. We're going to take a 5-second pause, and then we're going to get right into the training. Hello, my name is Jared Crebs. I'm pictured here with my wife, Crystal. We are Emerald Directors, co-founders of Team DSI, and tonight's training is a very special training because we have Pamela Pearson from Boston, Massachusetts on our webinar. She is a top Gold Director in USANA. She's a Premier Platinum Pace Setter, number 11 top Distributor Enroller, and number 2 top U.S. Distributor Enroller in 2015. And she's an awesome person. She actually came from a corporate America background where she was laid off several times and decided after that last time that she wanted to use USANA as her vehicle for freedom. And so you're going to hear from Pamela. You're going to hear her story from the very beginning. And Pamela, thank you so much for being on our webinar. Thank you for sharing your story. I know that we are not directly tied to you in USANA, so you're taking time out of your busy day, out of the kindness of your heart, to sow into our team. We are super grateful. Pamela, are you on the line?
I'm here.
Awesome. Well, you have the floor. We want to hear your story from the beginning. What was your life like before USANA? What was your life like when you first started? How, what were the challenges you had to overcome, and how did you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. First, I just want to say thank you for having me on. It is such a pleasure. You and your wife, Crystal, are both amazing, and I am so impressed with what you have going on in DSI. It's amazing to hear all of these new people who are rank advancing and getting new customers and new distributors, as well as your team growing. And I want to congratulate you guys on all of your success. And for those of you on the team who are listening, you're in the right place. You have fantastic leadership. I love your DMO, your daily method of operation, I think you called it. That's fantastic. That strategy is excellent, and it's really going to get you places. So those people who are on the call or listening to the recording are doing the right things. And it's part of my story, too. I mean, I got involved. I started, so I've been with USANA 10 years. Last call. So I started in 2006, and I had absolutely no idea what this was. But I trusted a friend who came to me and who had just started in the business the week before and said, I know you're a real go-getter, you're an entrepreneurial type, I have this opportunity I want to talk to you about. Didn't really know much about it, and I jumped right in with both feet. Here's an interesting thing, and I'll give you some tips along through my story. She wasn't a great recruiter. She was actually pretty horrible. She handed me just a lot of information, tons of videos and papers, and it got too overwhelming. There was a little bit of a lack of focus, but what she had was passion. And what she spoke about with passion, and she spoke to me as a friend and was concerned about what I was interested in. So they say you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and that's true. So if you're new or if you're struggling with your inviting and recruiting, don't worry about it. Just go out there, like Lillian said, and be excited for what the other person is looking for and have fun with it. And just keep practicing. So I got right into it. And it was really about my initiative. Everything that I've done and been successful at has been my initiative. Because my upline, my sponsor, only started a week before me. Because the one thing to remember is you're not an employee. This isn't Jared's DSI company. This is a team, and you're all on equal playing field. You're all your own entrepreneurs. And sometimes that can be challenging to switch a mindset from employee to entrepreneur. But remember, this is your business, and you're going to succeed with it as much as you put into it. Jared and the team, whether it's upline, crossline, I'm on this call because I believe a rising tide raises all ships, and I love supporting other people in USANA. But remember that it really comes down to what you do. Raise your hand if you need help. Go to your team members, go to your upline. But do it for things you really need help. If there's something that you can find, like what's the price of a health pack, go look that up and find out yourself. And the really pressing questions, use your team and use the resources. So I rolled up my sleeves and got my hands dirty. I had no idea what I was doing, but I did, as Jared said, go Premier Platinum Pace Setter just because I was passionate. I had enthusiasm. I kind of fit this into the nooks and crannies of my business life because I was in the corporate world. And just really started to learn by getting my hands dirty.
Pamela.
Yeah.
Everybody on the phone that you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be you. And when you're in a home-based business, and if you don't get overly excited about, okay, my audio wasn't working too well, so Jared jumped in and said, hey, I can't hear you, would you mind dialing in on the phone? Yeah, sure, there's no problem. Don't worry about being perfect. I think a lot of people don't want to jump into this because they say, well, I don't know what to say, I don't know if I know the answer. Don't worry about it. You can learn by doing this. And the great thing is you show the people that you're recruiting that this is real, that they don't have to be an expert right out of the bat. So just kind of a little side note for that. So from 2006 to 2010, I used the products. I've used the products always. I've never missed an auto order in 10 years. I have been on the products since day one. And I saw that's part of your DMO is be a user of the products. It's so important, not only so that you can speak about them, try products that you haven't tried before, but it shows where your belief is. It shows where your commitment is. So whether you're on the 100-point auto order or 200-point auto order, be on the products, use the products. I've never missed an auto order, and my health reflects that. And then, so during that time, I just looked for others with either some kind of health need or a financial need. And I shared USANA based on what would fit that. And I love what Daniel Espinoza said. His favorite part of this business is it's about the changes that he sees in others' health or the changes that he sees in others' lives. Here's another tip. This business is a service business. It's about being in service to other people. It's not about your agenda. It's not about, I got to get a PC this week. I got to get a distributor this week. I sometimes feel that when people approach it that way, it's making things about you and not about them. So you really want to come back and find out what is this particular person's need. So I would say if I knew a runner, I would go up to them and say, would you be interested in hearing about something that could potentially help you with your running program? Or if I know somebody who mentioned they were pregnant, hey, are you looking for a way to have an additional income and maybe eventually have a full-time stay-at-home business? So look at what their needs are, and that's what I just started to do. I trained myself to look at it from a service perspective. And I was experiencing some up and downs in the corporate world, but I always stuck with USANA. And the great thing is this can ebb and flow with wherever you are. If you're trying to fit it in from 6 to 8 o'clock at night to make phone calls, great. If you're having a conversation when you're at your kid's soccer game, or if you're having a conversation with somebody on the subway, or you're listening to training while you're cleaning the house, just fit it into the ebbs and flows of your business. So for me, I was very successful in the corporate world. You know, I was a VP by the time I was 30. I was the president of a company by the time I was 40. I had a great income. But between 2000 and 2010, I got laid off 5 times in those 10 years of VP positions and up. So that was pretty tough. You know, the dot-com, dot-bomb era happened during that period. And I saw the success that other people were having with USANA, and I had the faith that I knew I could do it too. And there's really a lot here about belief and having faith. If you think you can't, you probably can't, and you won't. I think Jared was saying it's very important when you're talking about what is your story, you really have to remember what story are you telling yourself, because that's the story that you're telling other people. If you get discouraged, if you're not putting effort into learning about the products or taking the products or talking to people about the products, how can you expect other people in your team or other people that you're bringing on to do the same thing? So for me, I focused on my own personal beliefs, the 4 pillars of belief around company, industry, product, and self. And for me, I think that self-belief was the most challenging. But I remember that I came back to that I don't have to be perfect, I just have to be me, and that kept me going. So in 2010, Memorial Day, Friday before Memorial Day weekend, happy long weekend, I got laid off a job again. And I decided that I was going to take that leap of faith and go into USANA full time. And because of the jobs that I had had, it was ebbing and flowing in terms of the part-time I was spending with USANA. So from 2006 to 2010, I was part-time, fitting in the nooks and crannies of life. So in 2011, I started focusing full-time. Here's the interesting thing is I was part-time, and I was really part-time. There was no consistency, which made it challenging. When I said I went full-time, I wasn't really doing it full-time. I realized that I wasn't committing myself to what I called a full-time job. I was calling it full-time because I didn't have another job, if that makes any sense. What really made the business full-time for me in 2012, after I realized, is when I made the mental shift and I made the commitment to be consistent. I love your 222. That is fabulous, because what it does is it gets you in consistency. And for me, making that shift from saying I was full-time to really being consistently full-time really launched my business. I went from director to gold, and as Jared said, I was recruiting about 1 PC a week, and I switched and I ended up starting recruiting about 1 distributor a week. That's why I was the number 11 top distributor in USANA in 2015 and the number 2 top distributor in the US. And it wasn't anything, I wasn't saying anything different. I wasn't doing anything different in my presentations. It was just that consistency. I was being authentic. You know, people say, well, how are you recruiting? Most of it was one-on-one. I would talk to people. I would ask if they were interested in seeing more information. I would get on the phone. A lot of times I'd have an hour conversation with somebody. In the first 20 minutes, we weren't talking about USANA. Again, that's about the service piece and the getting to know you piece. And really, at that point in time, I wanted to improve my prospecting skills, so I hired a coach. It wasn't in my upline, and I made the commitment to invest in doing this in order to gain. So my tip to you is, number 1, get a mentor anywhere, free or paid. Sometimes if you pay for it, it puts more skin in the game and you associate more value to it. Like Jared does these probably weekly team calls, which are a huge value, but oftentimes people don't come on because they don't have enough skin in the game or their commitment isn't there. So these are great resources for you to be on anytime you want because they're free, and also to look for a mentor or a coach or somebody that if you can afford to, that you can pay for it. Now remember, I said at the beginning, you're an entrepreneur, so you're investing. Figure out what you can invest into and where you want to invest in your business in order to help grow it. My investment paid off. That was part of my going from director to gold. And it was interesting because we had a risk and reward. But I started to realize something after coaching with this particular individual for about a year. Our styles were a little bit different. In the very, very beginning, it was beneficial because I was learning a lot about my skill set. After my skill set was able to be refined, I learned how to bring my own personal style into my recruiting. And I think that for me, I noticed, and this is another tip I would say, is be in action, but think about the energy you're bringing to that action. Is it inspired action or is it forced action? So for me, when somebody said, you have to go out and prospect 50 people this week, you have to invite 50 people, and this is what part of our risk and reward, it was challenging for me because it felt a more forced action. Somebody was telling me what to do, and it felt very much about me versus the other person. Where inspired action was, I could easily see and meet 50 people who had an interest in health and wellness or financial improvement in a week. Enrollments, the same thing. How are you going to enroll them? Is it attraction or promotion? People will come and join your team, whether they're a client or whether they're an associate, because of you. They come because of you. So this was all things that I started to learn. Part of it is also the skill set that I developed through this year of coaching. I improved my prospecting, invite, present, enroll, train. I improved my skills, but what I really needed to do was not only improve my outer skills from a prospecting perspective, I had to improve my inner skills. And that comes back to belief in myself. So there's a lot of things that are skill-based, but there's a lot of things that are personal development-based. And I love in your DMO that you have that 15 minutes a day of personal development. Take that very seriously, because this is a people business. If people say, oh, this is just a numbers business, you got to get out there and recruit. It's people. It's about people. People are not numbers. It's about developing relationships. So after a year of weekly one-on-one coaching, I switched gears. It felt more in alignment with what felt good to me. And I want to give you a tip of do this business based on what feels good to you, not how someone else does it or someone tells you how to do it or how you should do it. I love Lillian had said she has a lot of fun with it. I remember she was, I believe it was Lillian also saying, well, sometimes that video doesn't work. I like to talk to people. There are so many ways to do this business. You look at Elizabeth Ryder, who came on, and she's doing this business pretty much purely online. There was not a lot of people who had done that before. Tracy Wenkman built her business mostly based on PCs. Jared and Crystal are building a very, very strong business in their own unique way. So figure out what works good for you. And think about how you're feeling, because if you're vibrating and resonating around feeling good, you're going to be in alignment with people who want that, and they're going to be attracted to you. So if you get a no or get rejected, what positive can you find in it? Do a positive rampage, to say, wow, I'm so happy that person said no, because now I really know what their decision is, or I got to practice, or I'm one more step closer to a yes, or there are plenty of people out there to approach, or I'm getting better and better at this. This was something that I had to do for myself to start to shift that mental focus to figure out how can I find the golden nugget in this particular situation. So back to my story, what was happening after I stopped coaching, I was in a more attracting model of prospecting. Less push, less forced action, more inspired action. So after recruiting a distributor or two per week, I had a pretty good team. And it was interesting because when I was a vice president or president of a company, and when I got my first president role, I actually said to somebody, this is the perfect job for me because all I have to do is tell people what to do and they have to do it. I mean, I was partially kidding, but it was partially true. It doesn't work that way in this business. So a lot of people say, well, you had that experience and all that corporate experience worked well for you. It didn't. It was the opposite, because everybody in this business is an entrepreneur, not an employee. And I had to learn how to really, truly lead, as opposed to I always either wanted to do it for somebody or tell them how they should do it. So in developing my team, another tip is if you have a team, you're starting to bring on associates, you want to spend time with them. And training is different than coaching. Training is about delivering information and giving answers, where you can find something, how to log into the hub, how to enroll a PC. But coaching is exploring with somebody and helping them find their own answers, around the who, what, where, when, and how. Ask those types of questions to help whether it's a client or an associate, help them figure out their own answers. So, even if you're talking to a potential client, it's, well, I noticed that you seem very tired lately. Yeah, I haven't been able to sleep. Well, what have you tried? What methods have you tried to improve your sleep? How many hours a night are you sleeping? When did this particular problem start? You can ask people questions to help get them to the answers, as opposed to jumping right in and saying, oh, you're not sleeping? Well, I have this great product called Pure Rest and you should try it, because you're coming back to your own needs. Do that exploring, both with your team. You can train and mentor and coach clients as well as associates. And this is what I had to learn personally in order to shift my mentality. And it brought me great results. And you'll hear probably numerous times throughout my story, I'm talking about a lot of my great results came out of learning the basics, being willing to ask questions, but being willing to put myself out there outside of my comfort zone. And I find that most people who struggle just are not willing to put themselves out there outside of their comfort zone. So here's the thing is, a lot of people say, oh, well, yeah, that's easy for you because, you had all this corporate experience and, well, you're a gold director. Of course, it's easy for you to recruit. No. It was really interesting. I was coaching. This is a challenging story. I had a discovery in my business about a belief I had. I had the skills of prospecting and rolling down, yet I still had hesitation about talking to people. Once somebody said, yes, I'm interested in learning more, I was okay. But it was that initial invitation that I still felt I had this hesitation. Now, I'm a top distributor enroller. You wouldn't think that I would have a problem inviting people. So after some discovery, I found out that I really had this belief that I didn't think people wanted to hear what I had to say. And wow, was that ever telling, that I was hesitating asking people or inviting them to take a look at something because I didn't think that they wanted to hear what I had to say. And it wasn't even that I thought that they would say no or not like me or that I would fail. I just didn't think they'd want to hear what I had to say. So I had to do some work around that. And that's about a personal belief, right? So I came to say, well, they may not want to hear what I have to say, but I'm never going to know unless I ask them. And if they do want to hear what I have to say and I don't ask them, then I'm personally being selfish because I have something that could help them and I have no way to offer it to them unless I ask. So don't just think that people like myself or Jared or other leaders in the business, that this just comes easy and natural to us. I'm sure you've heard Jared and Crystal talk about their own personal development and hurdles that they've had to overcome and beliefs and skills that they've developed. And we all have them. Find a partner, find a mentor, find somebody else on the team, practice with them. Say, hey, just call up and say, hey, I have this prospect meeting tomorrow. Do you mind if I kind of do a role play with you? Those are great ways to do it. So I'll wrap up. I know that I could go on and on forever, but you know, try to figure out where you feel comfortable and where you don't. I did this example once when I was doing a training. I had an elastic band, and I told people to hold the two ends of the elastic band. And I said, just keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and stretching and stretching and stretching. And you should see people's faces, they're squinting, right? The point of maximum resistance is right before the band breaks. And when the band breaks, there's no more resistance. So those are like our skills. Those are like our beliefs. We may have a limiting belief, and we may be stretching out of our comfort zone to learn a new belief or to change that belief. And the point of maximum resistance of that belief is right before the breakthrough. So remember that when you're squirming or feeling uncomfortable, you're probably on the verge of a breakthrough. So keep working with it. I tell my team, I would like to see you go into the stretch zone, but I don't want to see you go into the terror zone. If you have a fear of public speaking, don't go talk in front of 500 people. Try 5 and work up to it. So, you know, my business grew. 2015 was very successful. In February of 2016, I had a serious injury. I had a fall. I had 3 ruptured discs in my neck. I had a post-concussive syndrome. For the first time, I missed USANA convention. Which you should be at, absolutely, without a doubt. I wasn't able to go to Celebration and get my #2 top distributor award. But here's the really cool thing. I had products that were able to help me with my health. I had a team that was still building, and I had an income that was still coming in. And, you know, my health is great now. I was able to recover, and no long-term effects. I feel great. I know in part I recovered quickly because of the product that I'm on. I sat down with my financial advisor just last week, and he's amazed at the amount of income that I bring in with USANA for having really taken a break in the business for the past year. Now, I was still fitting it into my life, but I wasn't as actively recruiting as I had been. I just bought a new house at the end of March, and my mortgage is completely paid by my USANA income. So for those of you who are looking to get out of the corporate world, looking for more time and financial freedom, USANA is absolutely a way for you. This business is what you want it to be, whether you want $400 a month or $400 a week or $4,000 a week, whether you want to do it part-time, whether you want to do it full-time, and how you want to do it. This business is completely up to you, but what it depends upon is you. Your upline can't do it for you. USANA can't do it for you. You can come up with any excuse or block or reason why you can't and shouldn't or won't do this business. There's no new ones, but it's still there. And it doesn't matter if you do it slowly or quickly. It just matters that you do it and do it consistently. So find out how to have fun, find out what works for you, and just get out there and try it and experiment. That's what worked for me. So Jared, if you want questions or if there's any other points that you wanted me to touch on, please let me know.
Yes, we definitely have people with questions. I just want to, first of all, thank you for sharing your story. Some of the things I wrote down in my notes that were really highlights for me is that your USANA income pays your mortgage on your new house. That is so awesome. And I really love what you had to say about coaching versus training, because I think that's such a big shift from, you know, telling people what to do to exploring and asking them questions and having them come up with their own answers. I love what you said about that. Less forced action, more inspired action. Definitely really key things, right? Because not everyone's going to build like I build, for example, but they find their way, they find their niche, and they're inspired, then that's the better thing for them to do. So many things, hiring a coach, free or paid. You weren't doing anything different, saying anything different. You were just being consistent and being authentic. So cool. So thank you so much for sharing these things, Pam. We've recorded this as well, so it's going to be a video that we can use and share, and of course with your permission. But I want to open it up. Thank you. I want to open it up to some questions. We have time basically for 2 questions. So who wants to ask Pamela a question? This is your opportunity right now to ask and talk to a top leader in USANA. You can chat and tell us to unmute you. I think you can actually unmute yourself. Dad, they have the ability to unmute themselves, don't they? Luis Sanchez has a question. Dad, could you please unmute Luis? All right, you're unmuted, Luis.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question. So I sometimes struggle with getting out of my comfort zone. Not sometimes, that is a big issue of mine, and I'm trying to confront that. But how do you know when, because you were talking about what's comfortable for you or what feels good for you, what resonates with you. How do you know the difference between what resonates with you and just you simply just being fearful of being uncomfortable? You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out for myself.
Yeah, sure. No, that's a good question. So I can say that there's a couple of things. One is you can look at if you think you are, I call it the stretch zone versus the terror zone. So that's the first thing to figure out. And I tell people to take baby steps. And then the other thing of thinking about, is it that I'm uncomfortable or does this just not resonate with me? Really, that comes from your gut. It's based on your intuition, because you may know that you feel really passionate about going to do something, or maybe you're passionate about somebody you want to talk to and you just feel a little bit nervous, or, ooh, I'm not sure what to say, versus, yeah, I just don't have any desire to go talk to that individual.
Okay.
So I think there's 2 things. I think look at your level of passion, right? Is this something like you go, do I really want to do this? Is this really something that matters to me? And then how uncomfortable you feel, and to take, baby steps backwards. So do you have a specific example of something that you were thinking of?
Just overall, like I find myself whenever I'm like prospecting, either in person or in a online setting, I find myself just like feeling like I don't. It's not that I don't know how to transition. I'm pretty sure I could transition with everything that Jared taught me. It's just that I'm just not comfortable with what to say or how to say it. That's kind of like my what's kind of I feel like is stopping me a lot of it. It's this fear or what I'm feeling whenever I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah, sure. So what I would do in that particular case is try different approaches. So if you feel that if it blankets all of your prospecting and you feel you don't know what to say, then back it down a little and do some role playing. Right?
Okay.
Find somebody, and you can do this with prospects too if they're close to you. You could say to a friend of yours, look, hey, I've told you that I'm in this new USANA business or home-based business or nutrition business, however you say it, and say, do you mind if I practice on you? You're somebody I really trust. Do you mind if I just practice a little bit on you? And oftentimes those people will end up enrolling because they're really interested in the conversation.
Yeah.
So you could try something like that. You could try somebody on your team to role play with. If you get nervous talking in person, try doing something over the phone. I'll give you a quick example. I think I know Jared wants to do one more question, but I started doing spa parties, right, for Sanse. I had a wellness center that I was doing like weekly spa parties, and I can get up in front of a room and talk to people about Sanse and walk them through the spa party, and I just felt I was lack of passion. So for me, it wasn't about what I said. It was about, you know what, this just isn't the way I want to go about recruiting. There's a lot of people who are very successful. Maggie Pierce is somebody who's very, very successful with spa parties. and it's something that works for her. It really resonates with her. It just wasn't something that resonated with me. So like the in-person parties wasn't. So you can kind of look at it that way too. And if you find out that you just you're not having fun. I love Lillian said that she wants us to be fun. If you're not having fun, try something else. Try a different way. And just look at the two things between, do you just not know what to say and you need to practice your skills, and you know, like you think about those professional sports players, sorry to make the sports analogy, they didn't get good overnight, right?
Yeah.
They had to practice and practice and practice. So practice your skills, but if you practice and you get good at the skill and you find there's no passion behind it, then try bringing that skill forward in a different way.
So to make sure I understand, you do got to step out, you got to do the first steps, and then after you start doing that, that's whenever you start to see if your heart's in it or not, as far as those actions. Okay.
Yeah. When I was coaching, and here's an interesting feedback that I got from my coach, and my coach that I hired was a diamond director. I said it was interesting because I had gone out to like a coffee shop and I had picked up 15, this is an experiment you can do, pick up 15 different business cards in the coffee shop, those ones that have, you know, the displays of business cards of people in the health business, and call them and try and ask them if they're interested in learning more about a way to integrate a wellness product into their business to increase their revenue. So I picked up about 15 and I made 15 cold calls to business cards. And I said to my coach, well, I look forward to the day when I feel good about cold calls. And he said to me, when you figure that out, let me know.
Yeah, I tried that, and that was a rough circumstance.
Right.
Not that, but like doing like leads and whatnot. That was tough.
Yeah. So you know what I did is I said, that was really interesting. He says, yeah, I don't enjoy that, but I do that once in a while to fill in a gap or to practice. So I realized that cold calling wasn't something that's really my passion. Some people love it, but I could take it from a different approach to say I can use this as a way to practice and get my skills better without worrying about whether this person says yes or no. So it took the pressure off. I was able to practice. And then when I sat down with people one-on-one, my skills were much better and I was passionate about it.
Oh, okay.
So I hope that helps.
It does. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer my question.
Oh, you're welcome.
Great questions, Luis. Awesome, man. All right, last question. Who wants it? This is your time. This is your chance to ask Pamela Pearson in Boston. We'll give them like 10 more seconds.
Oh, they got it all down.
Okay, they might be ready to rock and roll.
They're ready to rock and roll.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and end the webinar on time. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you for being on. Thank you, Pamela Pearson, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to share with us. We got so much, and I cannot wait to see you at International Convention.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. I'll see everybody there.
Absolutely, you will. All right, so let's end the recording. And just quick announcements to finish. We have International Convention August 16th through the 19th, most important event of the year. This is the one thing that all top income earners have in common. They go to International Convention in Salt Lake City, Utah. Make it a priority to be there. Contact the people who've gotten you started and make sure you're there. We have so many people already registered. Really proud of everyone on this list. The flights, the prices have gone up on flights, so you need to start watching flights. I would not buy them at these prices, but just try and watch the flights and get a flight at the right time. And then for Success on the Beach, that's an all-expenses-paid trip to Punta Cana. You can win it, or you can pay your own way, but that's November 8th through the 12th. Go on vacation with your USANA family. The GoPro event in November, we're all going to GoPro in Las Vegas. That's one of the more expensive events of the year, but boy, you learn so much. They only allow people making 6 figures a month to speak. Of course, Eric Worre, Mr. GoPro himself, Anthony Robbins, and Pitbull is going to be there. It's going to be an amazing event. Texas Associates, we have $1 Million Story Night by Mario and Elia Ray this Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. at Country Hollow Condominium Clubhouse. Definitely make sure you're there. It's going to be amazing. And then we have a Grimaldi's mix, so we're going to have cold brick oven pizza And seating is limited to 35. Make sure you RSVP to me and make sure that you get there, because that event is going to be a great event for your prospects and for them to learn about USANA in San Antonio market. Utah Associates, we have a Nutrition 101 class happening this Thursday by Marshall Manley, Gold Director in Salt Lake City. We have Friday, June 16th, Jared Harris Mixer. Way to go, Jared, doing events all the time. Super proud of you, bro. 7:30 in Salt Lake City. And then a Health 101 Put in Motion beginner hike that's also happening. I believe that's Friday. Yeah, that's Friday the 16th at 4 p.m. So way to go, Betty Meyer and Becky Armstrong. Super proud of you taking action. These are the bins I keep in the trunk of my car. I want to encourage you to always be prepared. Don't rely on your upline for their laptop, their copies. You have your own laptop, your own copies. Be ready to be that professional and serve others with USANA. And that concludes our webinar. Thank you for being on. I had a great time learning from Pamela Pearson and talking and chatting with all of you. And so let's unmute the lines and everyone say good night and God bless.
Good night and God bless.
Good night, everybody.
God bless.
God bless.